Hello and welcome to Fearless DIY Music. My name is Tristan Lass, and today I want to talk about Boss pedals versus some pedals that I designed and built myself. Today we'll be comparing the SD1 with a Electra circuit that I designed. This particular Electra circuit, I have it set on just the LED clipping. That is symmetrical, even though this one is asymmetrical. And I have already gone through the settings to kind of put them as close together as I possibly can, given the feature sets of each pedal. Same thing here, I've got a Boss DS1 versus a higher gain version of the Electra circuit. This one has asymmetrical and symmetrical clipping diodes, just standard issue clipping diodes in there, nothing special, no germanium, no secret sauce, just run-of-the-mill stuff. And I thought that we would go through and just kind of do a comparison to show, what you can make yourself versus, kind of the industry standard sounds. I will go ahead and say that two of these pedals are on my board constantly in the studio, and I'll let you know the answer to that when we get to the end of the video. All right. So I would like to start by saying we're going to be playing through my Acoustic Control Core 117 combo amp. It's a 1977, very cool amp, and I have a little bit of reverb on, and it's just the amp reverb. For my guitar today, I'm using a 2003 Epiphone Les Paul plus top. So I will start off, and if I change the pickup, I'll let you know, but we're going to start off on the bridge. And we're going to start off by comparing the SD1 to this Electra circuit right here. All right, let's listen to the clean tone real quick. All right, so that's clean. Let's go ahead and pop on the SD1. Should be some familiar sounds here. Pretty much everybody is familiar with this pedal and what it sounds like. All right, so that was the SD1. Let's move over to this Electra circuit. And I apologize yet again. I have had a cold for weeks now, and I cannot seem to shake it. So there will be some clearing of the voice during this video, and I apologize profusely for that. All right, let's check out my circuit versus the SD1. I have not changed the pickup or anything on the guitar. All right, so right out of the gate, I'm going to say there appears to be, with the SD1, you get a nice grind. I do have the EQ just set at noon. We could play around with that a little bit to maybe get it closer to that. If I pulled it back a little bit closer to my circuit, if we pull it back a little bit, let's see what that sounds like real quick. It actually just sounds, it's still very compressed. To me, that sound is very compressed. I made it a little bit darker just now with the tone knob. I don't think that improved its performance up against my pedal. The thing that I like about the Electra circuit versus that is that it has a more open sound. I would say that it has more of a tube-like character. We are playing through a solid-state amp right now, so everything that you're hearing, the amp's not adding much to anything to the tone. The pedals are doing all the heavy lifting. And I feel like this circuit right here really has a lot more openness to it. Let's go ahead and take another listen to it. I feel like that has a lot of, nice bell-like kind of clarity to it, along with the grit. You go down here and now let's do that same thing over here. And I feel like that has a more compressed sound, which may be what you're going for. But for me, I like the more open sound of the Electra circuit that I developed on this particular pedal. All right, let's go to the classic DS1. So now we're moving into higher gain territory. So we're all pretty familiar with the DS1 as well. So, pretty standard DS1 tone. I don't have it cranked all the way up because then it sounds like a bee's nest. Everything's at noon except for the volume. Volume is all the way up. All right, not a lot of headroom in the DS1, something to keep in mind. All right, let's go over here to this Electra circuit and let's take a listen to it. All right, I'm going to have kind of a similar, and also just to let you know right off the top, I do have a bass cut on this pedal, and I also have a bright switch. So right now I have it on the bright, keeping a little bit of the low end in there, but also just kind of, circumventing any sort of like treble cut. And then I have it set on it's passing voltage through a 330 R resistor. So that's the rating on that. Just to let you know what settings that's at. Anyway, let's toggle one more time real quick. Just do some quick power chords here. And once again, I'm hearing more compression coming from this pedal. Also, the fact that it is maxed out, it has no more headroom left to give, and DS1s are kind of famous for that. I did do the headroom mod on this. It was even quieter before, but it does have a little bit of difficulty keeping up with parity in volume. This one has plenty more headroom. It is at, roughly, a little past 3 o'clock, and if I crank it all the way up, it will be very, very loud. And this is once again a single transistor Electra circuit versus the Boss DS1. My overall takeaway from, comparing these is that if I wasn't doing it side by side, I might have a difficult time being like, oh, okay, well, I mean, the DS1, to its credit, has a lot more just straight up dirt in it than my pedal does. Now, when I crank my pedal, it will get there, but it will become too loud to be usable in the video. So, this, for, a lower volume situation, you can get more distortion out of it than this pedal. However, I find that to the ear, this is more pleasing. I find this to be a little bit muffled, a little bit Can of Bees sounding, and it's the same kind of conclusion I came to with the SD1. The SD1 to me sounds very compressed compared to the open character of this Electra circuit right here. So, my conclusion is I do prefer the pedals that I designed and built myself. These are based off the Electra circuit, but with tweaks. Of course, I have all sorts of, I've got symmetrical, asymmetrical, different resistor voltages here on this pedal, along with the bass cut and the bright switch. This pedal is actually a two-sided pedal. If I hit this switch over here, we get transistor or diode distortion instead of just the straight LED. So this pedal actually has a mid sweep on it. So this pedal, if I was going to take any of my Electra circuits out and only have one, I would probably take this one with me because I can get DS1 sounds out of this as well when I click it over to the transistor or diode clipping. However, that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video was to take the LED version of this circuit up against the SD1, and then this just kind of like straight dirt box against the DS1 and just get that sound comparison. Now, so the takeaway for me is that I prefer my designs. The takeaway for you: think about the classic sounds and classic pedals, but also keep your mind open to the fact that if you decide to go down the pedal building, rabbit hole, you should explore, you can start with the Electra circuit, you can start with any number of circuits, but I find that the Electra circuit is a great one to work within its parameters because it has such a wide open sound, and by the addition of just a few little ancillary parts to the circuit, you can really change the sound and character of it. This pedal is much different than that one, even though the main guts of it are the same. So my encouragement to all of you is to go out there and experiment. Also, just try lots of different things because, Boss is an industry standard. But however, over the years, of playing them, the DS1 used to be like my main distortion pedal, and the SD1 used to be my studio go-to for all sorts of sounds. And what I found over time is that I branched out. I tried some things on my own, but I also have found other pedals that I kind of prefer. So, explore, maybe build something, see where it leads you. All right, I just thought it'd be fun to put my pedals up against some Boss pedals, kind of let the rubber meet the road, put the money where my mouth is, and let everybody see how my pedals stack up to the classics. All right, if you made it this far into the video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Please share. Also, comments. What do you think? Maybe you thought the Boss pedal sounded better than my pedals. Please leave it in the comments. Love the comment section. Myself or Kevin will get to them eventually. All right, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.